There's a moment we don't talk about much. The one where you catch your reflection and think, wait, did my hair always look this thin? Not in a dramatic way, just quietly different. Like something slowly slicked away when you weren't looking. If that sounds familiar, oh honey, you're not imagining it. I used to have the kind of hair that got compliments from strangers in the frozen food aisle. Now, let's just say it's gone from shouting to whispering, especially at the crown where it used to party all by itself. And I'll admit, there was a phase when I thought, well, maybe this is just what happens now. So I tried everything: sprays, powders, half-finished bottles promising miracles in 30 days. None of them brought my bounce back. But then something else did, and it wasn't a product. It was a cut. Just one smart, strategic haircut changed the way my hair looked and the way I felt in the mirror. So if you've been staring at flat, thinning hair, wondering what to do next, stay right here. Because in the next few minutes, I'm walking you through 5 of the most flattering haircuts for thin hair over 60, plus one unexpected little bonus that completely changed how I wear mine. The first one, let's just say it saved me from a very awkward family photo. Ready to feel like you again? Now I know what you're thinking. Long hair with thin hair? Isn't that just a recipe for looking tired and flat? And normally you'd be right if we were talking about those wispy, shapeless ends that say, I gave up, quietly. But the long, blunt cut with bangs? Oh, that's a whole different game. This cut is bold, not loud, confident, not complicated. By cutting the ends straight across, blunt and proud, you create a strong baseline that visually adds density. It gives your hair structure, purpose, and dare I say, presence. Now let's talk about the part that scares most women: the bangs. Listen, I too have lived through the fringe fiascos of the 70s. I once cut my own in college with sewing scissors and a prayer. Spoiler, it did not end well. But this isn't that. These bangs are soft feathered if you want them to be, and more importantly, they cover what thinning exposes. Temples, hairline gaps, those spots that show up when the wind catches you just wrong, gone. What you'll see instead are your eyes, your cheekbones, and that sparkle that no serum can fake. Want a little pro trick? Lay a comb flat across the top of your head and tilt it forward. Where it starts to lift, that's your bang zone. Style it with mousse, a round brush, and let it swing. But if you're not into bangs or want something softer around the face, the next cut might just be your perfect middle ground. If you're like me, you probably want to keep a little length, something that feels soft, feminine, and still like you. But every time someone says layers, your brain flashes back to that one cut that left your ends looking like overcooked linguine. Yeah, I've had that haircut too. That's why I fell in love with this one, the medium length cut with face framing layers. It's not choppy, it's not trendy, and it won't make your ends look like they're trying to escape your head. Here's what makes it work. We keep the bulk of the length solid, shoulder skimming, with enough weight to feel graceful. But around the face? That's where the magic happens. A few light layers can soften a jawline, lift your cheekbones, and give shape without stealing volume. It's like contouring, but with hair. And if your wrists groan at the thought of blow drying, this cut plays nice with low effort. A little mousse, a few flips with a round brush, or just let it air dry with a soft part. Done. Here's the real magic though. You know that moment when you catch yourself in the mirror and smile? Not because you tried hard, but because you look effortlessly put together? That's what this cut gives you. But maybe you're still craving a little more movement, more bounce? Don't worry, the next style has just the right kind of lift without going short. For the longest time, I thought I didn't have enough hair to pull off layers. I figured layers were for women with thick, movie star manes, not for us fine-haired gals dodging the crown of shame. Turns out, I was wrong. Enter the shoulder-length cut with all-over layers, but done strategically. This isn't a flashback to the feathered chaos of the early 2000s. This is layering with purpose, volume with restraint. Here's the trick. We keep the ends solid, not wispy. That means the fullness stays at the bottom, where it frames your face and gives the illusion of thickness. Meanwhile, the layers are concentrated at the crown and upper sides, adding just enough lift to make your hair move when you do. And you don't need a glam squad to make it work. Just flip your head over while drying, then finish with a round brush at the crown. Want a little oomph? Add a few soft waves with a big curling wand. No tight curls, just that "I woke up like this" and meant it texture. I once wore this style to a brunch with my daughter and her friends. One of them leaned over and said, "Your mom's hair has more body than mine." Flattered? Slightly smug? Absolutely. If your hair's been feeling sleepy lately, this might just be the wake-up call it needed. But maybe you're craving something even cleaner, shorter, and a little sharper around the jawline. That's exactly where we're heading next. This one? It's the little black dress of haircuts. Timeless, clean, and always flattering. The chin-length bob with Nape Beveling is for those days when you want to feel put together without needing to explain yourself. Let's start with the shape. Cutting right at the chin instantly gets rid of those fine, flyaway ends that tend to betray us. But the real magic? It's in the beveling. Instead of a straight, horizontal cut in the back, beveling adds a gentle inward curve at the nape. It's subtle, but powerful. Like a little architectural lift that gives your hair structure, bounce, and shape. That curve does more than just look elegant. It draws the eye upward, adds natural volume at the crown, and gives your jawline a nice clean line, like a soft frame around your face. And here's a secret. It's one of the few cuts where you can skip the back mirror check before leaving the house. I did it once by accident and still got compliments in the cafe line. Style-wise, just a round brush at the nape, maybe a soft bend at the front if you're feeling fancy. No frizz, no fluff, no fuss. So if you want something with polish, ease, and just a hint of edge, this might be your match. But if you're feeling bold, and maybe a little tempted to break up with your blow dryer, the next cut is short, sassy, and might just set you free. What if you could feel lighter, bolder, and more lifted just by saying goodbye to a few extra inches of hair? That's the quiet power of the Pixie Cut, and its softer sister, the Bixie. Both are short, but neither one is boring. Let's start with the Pixie. It's bold, clean, and surprisingly feminine when done right. By removing weight, you give your hair the freedom to lift, especially at the crown where many of us are thinning. Less hair equals more structure, more shape, more presence. It's also a game changer for mornings. No rollers, no round brush cardio. Just a dab of pomade, a few finger flips, and you're out the door looking like you meant it. Now, if you're not quite ready to go full pixie, meet the Bixie, that happy middle ground between bob and pixie. It gives you softness around the sides and nape, but still offers the lift and texture up top. Think easygoing elegance with personality. I once went Bixie after a heat wave and never looked back. My husband didn't notice right away, but every woman I saw that week did. And really, that's all the proof I needed. The best part? These cuts don't hide your face. They celebrate it. Cheekbones pop, jawlines sharpen. You might even skip the makeup. Okay, maybe just the foundation. But if you're thinking, I like texture, but short isn't for me, hang tight. The next cut is a soft surprise, and it's not what you think. Let's talk about the shag. Yes, that shag. And no, don't run just yet. I know the word might bring up flashbacks of choppy chaos from the 1970s, all layers and frizz and volume in places you didn't ask for. But the modern light shag for mature, fine hair, it's a completely different story. Today's shag is softer, smarter, and shockingly flattering, especially if your hair has thinned out up top. Here's how it works. Instead of layering all over like a wild child, we keep the structure solid at the bottom and focus the layers where you need the lift, around the crown and upper midsection. That way, your hair still looks full from the back, but gains gentle volume up top. Bonus, if you've got even a hint of wave or bend to your hair, this cut brings it to life. No heat, no teasing, just smart texture that works with your hair, not against it. A friend of mine swore she'd never go near a layered cut again. Her stylist convinced her to try a light shag. 3 weeks later, I saw her at brunch. No blowout, no styling, and her hair looked like she meant to be that effortlessly chic. This cut says, I still have edge. I just don't have to shout about it. And honestly, that's a pretty fabulous note to end on. So there you have it. 5 fabulous haircuts for thinning hair, plus one soft, stylish surprise that might have caught you off guard. And listen, I know this isn't just about hair. It's about identity, confidence, that quiet little moment when you catch your reflection and think, there she is. Because thinning hair doesn't mean you're fading. It doesn't mean you've run out of options. It just means it's time to change the frame, not the face. And you don't need pills, products, or promises. You just need a shape that works for you, not against you. So the next time you're in the salon chair, feeling unsure, bring this video. Show your stylist the cut that caught your eye. Tell them what you loved and what you don't want to relive from 1993. And most importantly, trust that you still get to feel beautiful. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these cuts spoke to you the most? Or is there one you've secretly been curious about but haven't dared to try? Let's chat in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're wondering what comes next, well, next week, I'll be sharing the 3 hair colors that instantly lift fine aging hair without going blonde. You don't want to miss that one. Until then, just remember, you're not trying to look younger. You're just choosing to look fully, confidently, beautifully you.